Good evening, Your Excellencies, distinguished representatives, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the virtual celebration of Eritrea's 30th independence anniversary. We will begin our program with a moment of silence to remember all those who gave their lives for Eritrea's freedom. Please allow me to invite Eritrean Sisters to sing Eritrea's national anthem. Eritrean Sisters are Eritrean R&B trio act who appeared as semi-finalists of America's Got Talent. The sister group consists of Haben, Selena, and Leanda Abraham. Eritrean stands for Eritrean American, as the trio wanted a name that would highlight their cultural makeup and international journey. The group has performed across the globe and their music viewed over 14 million times online. The talented trio has received a key to the city of Renton in recognition of their contribution to their community, while the sisters have gone on to become advocates for education, youth empowerment, and sustainability. In particular, Selena currently works for the World Bank and closely with UN Environment Program and other agencies to coordinate the upcoming UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration 2021 to 2030. Please help me welcoming Eritrean Sisters.
Eritrea, ba'adem mandal kasete demsisu. مسواتا بهارنت تدبسو إريترا 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 بعد ما دارك ستدمسسو مسواتا بهارنت تدبسو موائل نخيسب علما تمرتي تنعت كوينو شما إريترا سحاب والزعات أمسكرا حقيكم تقوات إريترا أب عالم جبيتا توقبو كبرا ناتنت زمصو أولوني نهنتان لمعت كنسري سلطاني كنلبسها كما حدري لنا كم جا كنسلما إريترا أب عالم جبيتا توقبو كبرا إريترا
Now allow me to give the floor to Ambassador Sophia Tesfamariam, Permanent Representative of Eritrea to the United Nations. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, ESG Madam Amina Mohammed, USG Cristina Duarte, Advisor for Africa, USG Utoikamanu, High Commissioner for LDCs, LLDCs and SIDS, Your Excellencies, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for honoring us tonight and taking time out from your very busy schedules to spend a few moments with us to get a glimpse of Eritrea, our culture, our people, our aspirations, and our dreams. I have with me Mr. Samir Sanbar, who's been in Eritrea's journey since the very beginning, and I thought, hey, you need to co-host this program. You need to sit here and hold my hand so we can get through this. I want to just thank you very much for coming. And with that, I am going to introduce and have the honor and the pleasure to introduce the pre-recorded message from Minister Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Eritrea. I thank you.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends of Eritrea, on behalf of the government and people of Eritrea, I send you warm greetings. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to come and celebrate with us at this virtual reception to commemorate Eritrea's 30th independence anniversary. For a second year, our otherwise grand Independence Day celebrations have been limited by the pandemic. We would have preferred to host you in person and share the hospitality and cultures of our people with all its streamings. But I hope you will enjoy the program prepared for you by Ambassador Sophia Tesfamariam and her team at the Eritrean mission to the United Nations to celebrate this milestone in Eritrea's history. I also want to thank everyone who worked so hard to make this event happen. I join the Eritrean mission in welcoming all of you, representing nations far and near who have joined us today to celebrate in solidarity and friendship. We are marking the 30th anniversary of Eritrea's independence in the context of the global efforts against COVID-19. I wish to take this opportunity to pay tribute to the courageous frontline workers who are still fighting the disease all over the world. Our nation is also indebted to the doctors, nurses, and other health workers who have been continuously on the forefront of our fight against this virus. I also wish to thank Eritreans around the world who have contributed to Eritrea's fight against the pandemic. In Eritrea, with the committed efforts of all our people, we have succeeded in containing the magnitude of the pandemic. The numbers remain low by all standards. This has come at a great cost to our economy as we implemented rigorous preventive measures and partial lockdowns from the very early days. The robust preventive measures taken during the early onset of the pandemic and associated intensive sensitization campaigns have enabled us to reopen today virtually all sectors and activities. We are hopeful that full commercial airline flights limited to selected routes today will begin shortly. COVID-19 reminds us that we live in an interconnected global village with a common stake. COVID-19 is a challenge to the entire humanity, and no country can handle its impact alone. Your Excellencies, dear friends, Eritrea's struggle for independence spanned over 30 years and cost the lives of over 60,000 of Eritrea's finest sons and daughters. At independence in 1991, we inherited a country with destroyed or debilitated infrastructures and very weak social and economic institutions. We have had to rebuild our nation from scratch. On this day, we remember our struggle for independence. We won with the determination of our people, a clear sense of our mission, and strong principles and values. I do not want to talk about the challenges of the last 30 years, but as a theme for this year's celebration says, Eritrea remains resilient as ever. We are today in a much better position than we were in 30 years ago. Even with this lingering peace and stability challenges in our region, we have built the economic foundation for a prosperous future. Although much more needs to be done to achieve our aspirations, we have made substantial strides to improve the health and well-being of our population, to improve food and water security, and to provide education and health care for all. We have forged a harmonious society with tolerance and respect for ethnic and religious differences, and remain a peaceful nation despite many challenges imposed against our young nation. Today, Eritrea continues to embark on an ambitious development strategy to build our human resource capacity, improve our infrastructures, introduce new technologies, and bridge the digital divide. We have a useful population, and our country is endowed with rich natural resources. Harnessing the potentials of both will ensure a prosperous future for all. Eritrea is committed to doing that with the support of our friends, but we are also mindful that regional peace and stability is a prerequisite for the sustainability of our efforts, for the steady pace of our development programs, as well as to forge synergy and complementarity with our neighbors. We look forward to strengthening our relationships with all of you and hope that you will all be able to visit Eritrea soon. Thank you all for your friendship and solidarity.
Eritrea is one of the youngest nations at the UN. After a bitter 30-year struggle for independence, Eritrea took her rightful place at the UN. Please enjoy the short video, its cultures, traditions, and opportunities.
The glorious entry of the Eritrean People's Liberation Front into the capital city of Asmara in the morning of May 24, 1991 is etched in the hearts and minds of all Eritreans around the world.
The end of the war in 1991 brought new hope to Eritrea. Early this year, United Nations observers began arriving to monitor a referendum on whether Eritreans wish to become independent from Ethiopia. Among the first to cast his ballot, Asiasis Afwerki, Secretary General of the Provisional Government of Eritrea.
This historic moment, in terms of Eritrean history, means a resolution of a long-standing conflict in Africa, and in the African context, it has its implications in terms of UN role to resolve conflicts in a democratic manner.
The final result of the referendum, an overwhelming majority, more than 95% in favor of independence from Ethiopia. The United Nations has officially declared the referendum free, fair, and impartial. Within months, after 30 years of liberation struggle, Eritrea is expected to take up its place in the family of nations.
In paragraph 4 of the report, the committee recommends to the Security Council the adoption of a draft resolution on the application of Eritrea for admission to membership in the United Nations. I should like to congratulate the committee on its unanimous decision to recommend that Eritrea be admitted to membership in the United Nations. In accordance with the understanding reached in prior consultations among members of the Council, I propose that the Council adopt the draft resolution contained in paragraph 4 of the report of the Committee on the Admission of New Members without a vote. As I see no objection, it is so decided. I therefore declare that the draft resolution contained in paragraph 4 of the report of the Committee on the Admission of New Members document S/25841, has been adopted without a vote as Resolution 828 of 1993. I shall immediately convey the decision of the Security Council recommending the admission of Eritrea to membership in the United Nations to the Secretary-General for transmittal to the General Assembly in accordance with the provisions of Rule 60 of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedure. And now I shall make a statement in my capacity of President of the Security Council on behalf of the members of the Council. I quote, "The Security Council has decided to recommend to the General Assembly that Eritrea be admitted as a member of the United Nations. On behalf of the members of the Security Council, I wish to extend my congratulations to Eritrea on this historic occasion. The Council notes with great satisfaction Eritrea's solemn commitment to uphold the purposes and principles of the Charter of the United Nations and to fulfill all the obligations contained therein. We look forward to the day in the near future when Eritrea will join us as a member of the United Nations and to working closely with its representatives." End of quotation. This statement will be issued as a document of the Security Council under the symbol S/25847. The Council has thus concluded its consideration of the matter before it. The meeting is adjourned.
Consider first draft resolution A/47/L61 on the admission of Eritrea to membership in the United Nations. May I take it that the General Assembly accepts the recommendation of the Security Council and adopts draft resolution A/47/L61 by acclamation. It is so decided. I therefore declare Eritrea admitted to membership in the United Nations. I request protocol to escort the delegation of Eritrea to its place.
This film will show the Eritrean people's ambitious and equally arduous journey to rebuild their war-torn nation amidst a challenging and hostile global environment. If any people deserve to celebrate their independence in grand style, it is the Eritreans. And they did. Nationwide regional celebrations have become a well-established genre of national commemoration in Eritrea.
The project has not changed. And there was no reason for change because you want freedom, you want an independent nation, and then you want to build a nation. And building a nation was not consummated, would not be consummated. It only starts when you are sovereign and independent. And building a nation is not easy. It takes a very long process. I don't say generations, but if it's managed properly, it takes a long, long time. Without raising the consciousness of the population, you don't achieve any goal. Anyone who has good ideas cannot transform those good ideas into reality without allowing the population to participate by being aware of what it's doing. And that was a strength, and that contributed a lot to the socio-economic transformation. And then again, there has to be a vision.
So clearly, this is an extremely law-abiding nation. Now, for a nation that has fought a liberation war that lasted 30 years, fully armed, to suddenly become as peaceful a nation as we are immediately after liberation is extraordinary. Here is a nation that is really as peaceful as it can be, despite the fact that it is a war that was, it was a nation that was ravaged by war for 40 years. So clearly, there's something indigenous, endogenous to Eritrea that allows people to say, we are a nation of laws, and the laws are ours.
Imagine a land as old as time itself, yet as young as tomorrow. Imagine a flawless blue sky and a warm, crystal clear sea teeming with marine life. Imagine hundreds of kilometers of pristine white beaches and seemingly endless chain of tropical desert islands. Imagine a land where almost everyone, a perfect stranger, greets you with a smiling welcome. Imagine a land of indefinable beauty amid colorful people whose culture and traditions go back to the times of old. Imagine, in fact, you'll dream of the most perfect holiday resort in the world. Imagine all this and you have Eritrea, Africa's newest and youngest nation. A nation looking for partners in its great endeavor to make it the #1 tourist destination in the world.
This was the first seas early modern humans ever saw.
That's fantastic.
By and large, this is odd. It's uncharted territory, particularly under the water.
It's like solid gold mine. I mean, this is a gold coral. It's probably one of the most exciting dives of my life.
Today, Eritrea has managed to develop its promising mining sector, and this has created greater opportunities for the people. Investment opportunities in its mining sector include large deposits of gold, copper, zinc, and potash.
eradicate poverty, and food security is not a long-term goal. It's a transitional goal. Once we secure food, then we need to go beyond that. We need to export food so that we can exchange and enter into trade and investment with other people. We cannot only talk about food security for us. So even in the concept that have been developed within the framework for Millennium Development Goals, you have to be very specific and you have to know your realities. Unless you work hard towards achieving the short, medium, and long-term goals, you will not go anywhere. Then again, health will have to be there. We have referral hospitals, but we have health centers, we have clinics everywhere that would provide services. When you have roads, then it's accessible, it's easier. For those who don't have roads, their areas are not accessible, they are disadvantaged, and you have to design programs so as to access those areas to provide those services, because you're not doing any charity work. This is their right.
It is therefore with great pleasure that we address you all on the occasion of Asmara's inscription onto the World Heritage List. Asmara, our beloved capital, is Eritrea's first ever World Heritage Site. The city's recognition as heritage site of outstanding universal value fills us with tremendous pride and joy, but also a profound sense of responsibility and duty.
I have a real pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to declare Decision 41-8B.11 adopted.
I understand Ambassador from Oman wants to speak and say a few words. Ambassador Mohammed, if you're here.
Thank you very much. Thank you. First of all, my warmest congratulations to you, Sophie, to the people and government of sisterly Eritrea on the occasion of the 30th anniversary of your Independence Day. May I say that May 24, 1991 ushers a new era of cooperation between countries, including my country and Eritrea. And the independence of Eritrea is indeed envisaged that our sisterly countries shall work together for the improvement of the life of our people and the life of the people in the entire Horn of African region. We very much value the unique historical, cultural, and traditional relationship between our two countries and including other countries in the region. Well, indeed, there was a history of unhappy relationship, but that is a thing of the past. That has tremendously changed. There is indeed an era of cooperation, an era of course, strong relationship. Despite the difficulties of the past, there is indeed a very strong commitment and determination between our two peoples and our two leaders at all levels to closely work together and withstand all sorts of pressures and calamities the entire region faces. Indeed, that collective spirit and collective determination will indeed lay the foundation for a peaceful and stable environment in our region. So we believe it is a time of rehabilitation, economic development, cooperation for the better of our people. We very much cherish Eritrea's contribution to the region, and we look forward for a more strong cooperation relationship between our two countries and as well as regional countries. Thank you, Sophia. Once again, congratulations.
I thank you, Ambassador Taye. Since you've been there since the beginning?
Yes, in fact, I was very impressed with dedication, hospitality, and collaboration of all parties in the region to produce a useful result of the struggle of the people of Eritrea for years with dignity, dedication, and hospitality to achieve their objectives. And it was a privilege for the United Nations to play a positive role in that regard. It is my personal privilege to be part of that effort. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say a few words in honor of Eritrea, our neighbor across the water. I can see Eritrea from the shores of Saudi Arabia, and we share not only a glorious past together, but we also share a very promising future. We are both members of the new organization, and we salute Eritrea on its 30th year anniversary. And I wish you the best of luck, and I wish Eritrea full progress. And I must say that we admire your resilience, your perseverance, and your determination to promote and maintain your independence and to move forward. Good luck to you, and thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Abdullah. I have a request from Ambassador Kiyari of Japan. You have the floor, sir.
First of all, warmest congratulations to you, to your people, and the government of Eritrea. Well, as you know, our two countries enjoying a very good relation since the independence of the country, and we have a lot to work together, and we have a lot of common, agenda on which we work together. Well, I saw, in the screen, on the screen, the education for all or health for all. Those are the two, subject matters on which we are also working hard. So I think we can work together closely on these kind of things. But I have to say, having seen the video clip which you have just aired now, I am personally very much impressed by the perseverance of the people of Eritrea, and despite the difficulties, all the difficulties which you went through. So we really wish that the peace and prosperity prevails in your country. And also, lastly, I am so impressed by the amazing beauty of your country. It's a beautiful country, and also impressed by the coexistence of old things as well as modern things. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Kiyari. My brother Idris from Egypt.
Thank you very much, my dear sister Sophia. Let me tell you, first, thank you very much for this innovation also in the virtual celebrations of national days. We have seen a journey in history of the inception of your sisterly country. And let me tell you, this day calls me history of 30 years ago. At that time and at that day specifically, I was a diplomat at our junior diplomat at our mission in Washington, D.C. And that day of the referendum, there was an event about the making the voting about the referendum for Eritrea. And I remember that my ambassador at that time told me that I go to attend this event. Everything was new for me. But so I went and I attended that event. It was lots of course, that was under the auspice of the UN at that time, but it was organized in Washington, D.C. And so I can say that I am like a witness of the birth of your sisterly country, because now I recall a journey of 30 years. Since then, of course, we always had a cordial, great relations with your sisterly country and your brotherly and sisterly people. And really, I admire also the way you are, the spirit you injected in our African family here in New York, and the different expertise and experiences and perspectives you brought by joining this family. And we heard about lots of wide things about how to be self-dependent, how to contribute to sustainable development, how also to be dependent on ourselves in making our future. So let me then congratulate you and to wish you and your sisterly country all the best in the time ahead. And really, it's a great pleasure joining you. Congratulations and best wishes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Idris. You know, I have to say thank you to you too for making me feel welcome when I first came here. You were one of the first PRs that showed me the ropes and told me how to go and where to do. And Samir here said, Sophie, hold your head up high. You know, when you go in there, no bending your head and do the walk and tell your story. And that's what I've been trying to do. So I thank you. I really appreciate you coming.
Thank you, my dear sister. Thank you very much.
Virtual, it's all new for all of us. And I have to actually say thank you to the crew that has been working on this from our embassy in London and the Ministry of Information in Asmara. And I said, you have to put on a fantastic show. I cannot have them come and not have a fantastic show. So I am grateful for everybody that went out of their way to make sure that we at least put something for you. And hopefully next year, when COVID is out of here, we will be able to host you along with our community in the diaspora, so you can share our food, share our music live, and really see us and our people in the way that we want you to do. But I really appreciate you coming, and I thank you. I'm not sure, did I hear somebody?
Sophia, this is Neville from Namibia. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can. Thank you, Neville. Welcome.
Sophia, when I was watching the video earlier, the sentiments that came to me took me back to 31 years ago when it was Namibia's turn. And I must say, our two countries followed each other on the heels, getting our independence and becoming members of this family of nations in pretty much the same way. And this is a wonderful occasion to look back at the long journey it took us to get to where we are, but also to remember at what cost we got where we are, and to look positively forward to the future. And as we do so, I share with you today on this happy occasion the very famous quote that President Sam Nujoma of Namibia, of SWAPO at the time, used to inspire us with. And on occasions like this, it's always wonderful for me to reflect back and remember that he said to us that a people united, striving to achieve common good for all members of the society, will always emerge victorious. And I think as we move forward on the journey of development and meeting the aspirations and objectives of the people who have placed their trust in our governments, in our people, that we should not fail them, that we should work hard, and that we wish the very best of all the people and for all the people of Eritrea and for your region. We look forward to see you 30 years from now, boasting that you have graduated with us as developed countries when we all celebrate 2063, the agenda for Africa. So happy Independence Anniversary and best wishes for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Neville. You're also one of those that held my hand and walked me through when I first came here. And so I want to thank you for that. My sister Amina, if you'd like to say a few words, I see you on the screen.
Thank you so much, dear Sophia and Excellencies. I'd like also to add my warm greetings to the people and the government of Eritrea on the 30th anniversary of your independence. Over the past 3 decades, it's clear from the films that we saw today, you've made huge progress in advancing your inclusive development agenda. And the UN, of course, has been a solid partner with you. I was privileged to visit your country not so long ago, before COVID. And it really was, for me, inspiring to hear the young women and to visit the women who were managing huge businesses that were actually exporting. And so it was, for me, an inspiration. You're marking a wonderful milestone, and we are working with you to see how we can all achieve the 2030 agenda and the 2063 agenda that Neville spoke about. I'd like also to really commend, as I do with all African countries, the response to the COVID-19 pandemic. In the case of Eritrea, huge efforts to contain the spread of the disease and minimize the adverse socioeconomic impacts. Congratulations, you're one of the countries least affected by the pandemic in the region. But as always, on the heels of celebration come the aspirations of people. And, your independence came at a profound time of uncertainty in the Horn of Africa. And we still have follow the winds of hope and the promise of our young people that we achieve peace and engagement. And of course, you will be key players in making sure that the Horn becomes a more peaceful and prosperous part of Africa, the Africa that we want and the Africa that we see in the 2063 agenda. So congratulations, my dear sister, and it's a pleasure to be with you today. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Ambassador Pedro from Mozambique. I believe you're next.
Thank you so much. Heartily congratulations to you, dear sister Sophia, to your people, heroic people, and your government. I had already written a few notes to congratulate you and your people, but I thought that I should take this opportunity to pay tribute once again to your heroic struggle for independence, to pay tribute to your liberty hardly conquered, and for the great effort you are making in order to have a very prosperous country and a very happy people. I grew up in Mozambique, Mozambique led by Samora Machel, who taught us the first lessons of our connection with Eritrea. Samora Machel used to say Mozambique will never get full independence as long as Eritrea is not independent. As long as South Sudan is not independent. But those were very perplexing words at the time for us. But his words were very prophetic, and we learned to cherish those words, and therefore also to cherish our friendship, very close friendship to your country, to South Sudan, and to all the countries in Africa. We admire your heroism and resilience, and we wish just to pledge our friendship, our determination to cooperate with you and to work very closely together for the prosperity and happiness of our countries and of our peoples. So happy Independence Day for Eritrea and for the Eritrean people. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. And you and I have shared the story about Samora Machel. And when I lived in Tanzania, we lived very close to him and his family. And it was the liberation days, and so we got to hear about these great African leaders of the past, and that was the hub for most liberation movements in Africa at that time. So, and I thank you very much for coming and always supporting us and sharing your insights and guiding me and giving me pointers and encouraging me in the work that we do here. So I thank you, my brother, for all that. Ambassador Mohammed from Oman, you're here.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Sophia, I know the word salam is a very shared word between your country and my country as well. And I'm sure peace as well. There is always joy whenever I see you, whenever I talk to you. I always see the wisdom and a very dedicated civil servant from Eritrea, whom we are very proud, especially when it comes to a woman. You are a model. Your country has been very helpful in so many things. Unfortunately, the international community sometimes does not see the truth until years to come. But we in the region, we know the history of Eritrea. We know the contribution of your people. We know the sacrifices of your people for freedom and for their rights. We stand with you in this celebration, and they have all the right to celebrate this wonderful, memorable day, and we're with you 100%. So many years with victory, with joy, with happiness, with progress to you and to your country, to your people, and to your leadership. Thank you very much.
I thank you very much, Ambassador Mohammed. If I start telling you all the people who were in my life in the first year that I've been in New York, then you're going to have to be in the first 10, because I definitely knocked on your doors too, and got away and learned quite a bit about this system and how to maneuver in this area. I thank you for coming. Ambassador from Gabon, are you there, sir? You have the floor.
Of course, I'm here. How can I be there, my dear sister Sophie? I'm so glad and to see you shining on such a particular day for Eritrea, for Africa. I have a message of friendship from Gabon, a message of admiration on the Eritrea resilience. I have a message of strengthening our bilateral cooperation, message of happiness. I really want to present you my warmest congratulations on this particular day of the 30th anniversary of independence of your marvelous and beautiful country. We feel comfortable to see the path and the way Eritrea has accomplished in such a short time. We still have enough to do, and we are together to achieve what we have started for the world, for the happiness and the prosperity of people. Congratulations again, my sister, and thank you. I'm very happy to join you on this particular day.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. I know on a Monday, and I thought, Independence was always coming on the weekend, and it was great because we could have it on the long weekend. And then when it came on a Monday, I said, "Oh no, what do we do next?" But it worked, and I appreciate everybody that's here. Here at this event, what I did was also reach out to Eritreans who are working in the UN system. And I didn't realize we had so many of them working all over the world. And I always come to these peace and security meetings and say, we don't have any peacekeepers on the ground. We don't have anything on peacekeeping. But then how wrong I was that we had so many Eritreans that worked not exactly as peacekeepers or forces, but in peacekeeping in various parts of Africa and all over the UN system, WHO and all that. So I want to thank all those Eritreans that reached out and are joining us today from the various posts and making this event a really global UN family event for all of us. And I want to thank you for that. And I thank all of you for joining me. Anybody that wants to take the floor, you're welcome to do so.
For her wonderful role in celebrating this very special event about her country, her leadership, her people, President Siyaset Forki, of course, with whom I joined together to extend his vote during the referendum, and to the wonderful people of Eritrea. All the best to you.
I thank you, Mr. Sambar. I want to thank everybody that sent messages through the chat. Ambassador Tiru of India, I thank you. I thank you. Turkey, Grenada, Gambia, Senegal, Ambassador Munir Akram, President of the ECOSOC. Thank you for your well wishes and your messages. And would you like to take the floor, Ambassador Champi?
Yes, just want to share this wonderful day with you and tell you that we are with you as you celebrate the Independence Day of your brotherly country. We're happy that you have invited us. We're happy to be here and show the sense of fraternity, of solidarity, of celebrating this day together as members of the same family. We are the same family, and really, when a great day happens in one of our countries, we make sure that we are all there. This is the African spirit, African tradition. And once again, we congratulate you, your country. I wish you all the best, prosperity, peace, and great successes for the future. So thank you very much, and God bless your country, bless your people, bless you as a representative of Eritrea in the United Nations. And then be assured that we are with you, we'll be always with you, as you will be always with us. So thank you, and all the best.
I think we've finished the list here, Rahwa. You can take the floor now. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, thank you for joining us to celebrate Eritrea's 30th independence anniversary. It was an honor to host you all. This is the end of our event, and thank you.
Thank you everybody for coming and for joining us. And hopefully next year, we'll make sure that we do this live in person. And thank you very, very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank
you, Sophie. Congratulations again, Sophie. Warmest congratulations.
Yeah, happy 30th anniversary, Sophie.
Come see us. Thank you. Come see us.